Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday afternoon, February 14th. Looking at window traders market profile of the ES and NQ. So let's recap. We're going to recap the whole week and our charts. I think what we can say today, two things we can say. As far as an intraday trading day, it pretty much sucked, right? We have our smallest range of the year in SPY and ES, one of our lightest volumes. NQ's range was very light. However, in the bigger picture, the bulls have to be happy. They traded in the upper distribution in ES and above all day, and NQ traded above value all day. So NQ went out with another price probe, but I'm not going to use it because it didn't get as high as I wanted it to. Righty gapped higher, filled the gap, and then they go trend down and hold that, but they held yesterday's trend day up. So it'll be interesting when we look at their charts. They end up with a trend day down and a 9-wide POC. NQ ends with nothing. Their POC's only 8 wide, so it's a day's high and a day's low for NQ, which is a yearly high. Okay? ES ends with a 12-wide POC. SPY hit an all-time high today. But they have the overnight high is a couple of pennies higher. And speaking of overnights, ES did not get either one of their overnights for the 4th time this year. NQ attempted to go trend up a couple of times today. They failed also. It's an okay day. It was a pretty quiet day. In A period, I took a long in NQ against the base of the price probe the first time, which did well. That was the only trade I took actually I took 2 trades in A. One against the 144, which worked, and one against the base of the price probe. I took the long in B to get A's high. I then took a long to get the overnight high. Never got it. It came back, and I took that one off for a loss. C period. Took a long to get the IB high, which I got paid on. I missed the overnight high, though, believe it or not. I had taken it off. I longed D period because we were one-time framing up right down here. Got down to right around C's low and longed it. Too bad I didn't hold on to it too long. But that was a nice trade. I took a long in F period at the time, right against value low. I'm like, well, we have the IB high, we have the overnight high. Let's see if they don't go and get the IB low. And they didn't, so that paid me. And I long G period, but G almost got the IB low. It didn't, though. And then when she came up, I took the long to stop the one-time framing down. And then in NQ, in J, is it J? Yep. I took a long on the single print fill. But once K opened and took out J's low, I got out of it once it stopped the one-time framing, so I lost small on that. So it was a good day overall, good week overall. I think we saw the market very well. The bulls have to be fairly happy here, considering they closed at what, 609.70? Up $9 for the week in the S&P, so they have to be fairly happy. But again, we talk about it. The volume, it just isn't there. There's no long-term money buying it, and there's certainly no long-term players getting out of the broader market as far as the indices go. Destinations, today's high is 45.25, and which is, I put yearly high. This is not a yearly high in ES. It's a monthly high. That's a monthly high so far in ES. The overnight, I also wrote the wrong thing, but the monthly high is also in the overnight, which is at 46.75. I'll change that later. We're 12 wide at 35.50. We missed a perfect point of control by a tick. We didn't have one last year. We don't have one yet this year. Missed it by a tick. And today's low is 25.75, and then you should have the ones I gave yesterday with the single prints. SPY, all-time high at 610.99, but overnight all-time high is 611.02. Now, they also missed a perfect point of control by 2 cents. They're 12 wide at 610.03. And today's low is 609.07. They didn't even get into the single prints from yesterday. A thing to keep in mind, we talk about the opening a lot. When you go back and forth through the opening a lot, that's a lack of conviction. That's a fair opening for buyers and sellers. ES went back and forth through the opening 11 out of 13 time frames. And the only 2 time frames they didn't get it, they got fairly close. NQ also early in the day was doing the same until they finally pulled away. So ES just had trouble getting away from that, from doing that. Now, let's go recap these charts, okay? Where do we stand midway through the month of February? So here's IWM. IWM took out last month's high, so they are firmly back in balance. How big is the balance? We'll see how it goes the rest of the month. Some people, if we don't get much extension to the upside, might call it a 2-month balance. If we get more extension, then I'd call it a 4-month balance. But regardless, right now, balance. They came out of an inside month to the downside last month, but didn't get much for it. And now this month took out last month's high. So it is balance on the monthly for the Russell. The weekly is also balance, okay? It's an inside week. Let's see how they come out of that inside week. But for now, I would call them a 4-week balance. Once again, a lot of balance, right? And the daily, again, yesterday came back into balance. You want to call today up? I don't have a problem with that. But I can tell you one thing. See all these highs here? Until this gets resolved, okay? That's the bigger picture for your daily. You can call it up. I don't have a problem. But you need to take out this high. So monthly and weekly, I'll say a balance. I'll call the daily up. Now, let's go to NQ. 3-month balance. Balance rules are in play here. You're getting close to a balance high. So on the monthly, on the longest time frame, that means you can get some longer time play swing traders in here. We'll see if that happens. It might already be happening. Same with the ES when we get to it. So the monthly is in balance. Balance rules are firmly in effect for the monthly. Same with the weekly. Until we make a new high and get acceptance above it, balance rules are in effect on the weekly. Your balance on the monthly and the weekly. And the daily is up. Okay? They finally broke above this yesterday and now again today. So the 2 longer time frames are balance in the NQ. In ES's case, we made a new high in SPY, but barely. So for now, all you're doing is stretching the balance. ES never made a new high. So SPY did step 2, that stretched the balance high. ES is still in step 1, close to a balance high. Swing traders might be coming into the market to sell this thing, right? So the monthly is balance. The weekly, same thing, balance. So you could have intermediate time frame players saying, well, I'm going to, take a swing short. So monthly and weekly, just like in righty, just like in NQ, balance. And your daily is up, okay? But again, you certainly want to take out these all-time highs. SPY did, but certainly get a lot more distance, okay? That is very, very important as we go forward. We have just about 26 million on the tape. The lightest volume is just over 26. So it's not going to be the lightest volume of the year, but it's probably going to be the second lightest volume along with the smallest range of the year. That's at an all-time high in SPY. Again, I'm not telling you that the market can't go high. You know me. Anybody who's watched me knows I don't say that. We can continue to go higher. Okay, on this lack of volume. What I do say, though, is at some point when it gets taken back, it just gets taken back in one quick fell swoop. And then they go back up again. Look at this year. So look at since since this year. This is January. Look at this. January, down, back up. Down, back up. Tried to go down last week, back up. So you wipe out many days, and then you just grind back up. That's short-term players for you. I hope you had a great day and a great week trading. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to this channel. Enjoy your long weekend. Remember, I won't be here till Tuesday, and we'll speak prior to the opening on Tuesday.